Assalamu alaikum, how are you? And welcome to our second episode of Healthy Nutritious Ramadan. So we're 10 fasts into Ramadan. Congratulations for making it so far. And if you remember from our last episode, I gave you 5 top tips. Meal prep, how to break your fast wisely, what to eat, exercise, and suhoor. So 2 things are possibly happening to you right now. Either your motivation is on the top notch. Congratulations for that. Or your motivation is running low. If your motivation is running low, it's time to get back on track. So a lot of things are happening to your body right now. It could be that your withdrawal symptoms are now in control. But for some of us, we're still struggling. But that's okay, because everybody's body is different and reacts differently to different things. Maybe you're now realizing your hunger cues. Or maybe you're also realizing when and how to exercise. Maybe mentally you're still clear that you have to exercise every day for 30 minutes. But even if it's still yet to be there, it's going to happen over time. We have a lot of time on our plate. But do we now realize while eating, automatically our portions are getting small because we're eating mindfully and slowly? I'm sure this is happening. Also, various kind of addictions are also now in control, right? But have we ever imagined what is happening to us in a medical perspective? I'm sure we would want to know. I definitely want to know. So I have invited Dr. Abdul, our general physician from Kisutu Specialized Polyclinic, to enlighten us about it. Hi, Dr. Abdul. So, doctor, what is happening to the internals of our body?
Thank you, Fatma, for inviting me to the show. So what happened to our body when we are fasting? What happened to our internal organs when we are fasting? So we have visceral organs, several visceral organs, and these are affected when we are fasting. Okay. So the first of all, we have a liver, we have intestines, we have brains, we have heart, we have muscles and other organs. But these are the organs which are more affected when we are fasting. Okay, let's look at the liver. So first of all, in the liver, it increased the insulin sensitivity. That's one. But the second is going to produce ketones body. So at what time the liver is producing ketone body? So in hours of fasting, the first 4 hours, our body is using the glucose that we have eat during the suhoor. Okay. After that, it's going to use another source of energy which is stored, which is the same glucose but is stored in the muscle and the liver. Okay, when this glucose which is stored in the muscle and the liver have been used for the time period, then our body through the liver is going to burn the fat and change the fat to another source of energy, which is ketone, which these ketones is going to help and improve the cognitive function of our brain. That's a very important function. So at this time is when, if you relate it to your daily routine, you can see that at this stage, when you burn your fat, is when people start to go down, to go in emotional stage, to go in an angry state. I'm not saying all people are going on this stage, but you can see it and you can relate it yourself to your daily activities. So Fatma, you can relate this to those people who are on dietary plans, like people who are doing intermittent fasting. As you can see, they are going through the same stages that we're going through. Okay, they are going through the burning of the glucose that they have eat on the time of suhoor. They are going the burn of glucose that they are stored in the body, and also they are burning their fats. So this help them to reduce weight as their purpose, but it's different from our purpose. Yes. Second, we can see as intestines. Okay, so in intestines we give break to our intestines, and also we reduce when we are fasting. We reduce the risk of getting intestine diseases and cancers like colon cancers. But also we can see the third one as the brain being one of the organs which are benefit from fasting. We enhance the brain activity and we stimulate the brain functionality. The other organ is the heart, so the heart rate is being reduced. This is due to the metabolic activities going low. These also help in reducing the high blood pressure as a risk factor.
So, doctor, what's your advice to our viewers?
Okay. So, Fatma, as you explain and give your opinions on what viewers of this episode should look on this Ramadan. So, I can give a small insight to that, maybe very few points. So, one of them being you have to stay hydrated. You have to take plenty of water and fluids, especially warm fluid in iftar and suhri and between them. So the other thing is you can take a walk between before iftar and after suhoor. That's help a lot. Also, meditation shows that there is high benefits when you're fasting and you meditate. The other thing is you have to avoid eating a lot of feast food during iftar or suhoor. And the other things, I think a nutritionist should be the best to explain this better. I should come to you, Fatma, please.
What's your take on pregnant women fasting?
So, Fatma, pregnancy and fasting, it's a very controversial and sensitive topic. But according to American Society for Obstetrician and Gynecology, uh, pregnancy after second and third trimester is not allowed or not recommended to fast during a second and third trimester. Though, for further clarification and your health, please consult your gynecology when you want to fast if you know that you are pregnant woman.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Abdul. That was very insightful.
Thank you so much, Fasta.
Did you know? In Islam, pregnant women can fast. But should they or they should not? We don't know. But do you know, similar to that, women facing autoimmune disorders like PCOS, thyroid, lupus, Hashimoto's, Graves, and many other, they also find it very hard to fast. Sometimes the symptoms get very worse. But how about we grab some details on that from Dr. Shabna Mukaddam, our consulting gynecologist at the Kisutu Specialized Polyclinic. Let's go meet her. So, if you recall from our discussions about aspects of fasting for various health conditions like pregnancy and fasting, autoimmune disorders and fasting, polycystic ovaries and fasting, breastfeeding and fasting, we have to learn a bit in depth about them and see what a gyno's perspective is on these various topics. So, hi, Dr. Shabdam.
Hi Fatima, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
How's Ramadan treating you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you doing?
It's going good.
Good?
Yeah. So in our previous discussions with our viewers, we get this a lot of questions in regards of fasting and its effects on various health conditions.
Yeah.
So pregnancy and fasting is the number one topic that comes up.
Always.
Because Islam says that they can. If
Sharia
they can,
allows, yes.
Yes, if they don't have any issues, they should fast. But what about you? Like as a gyno's perspective and your experience in this field, what do you think that is the right way?
You see, you mentioned something very important.
Yeah.
If you're okay,
Yeah.
that is a very good statement. If you're okay. You see, pregnancy is a miracle. I think my mamas would agree there.
Yeah, definitely.
So when we talk about pregnancy, it's a complex process. I say a complex process because there's so much involved.
Yeah.
The mother is carrying a human in her. There's so many changes that occur inside a body that is difficult to explain.
Right.
So when I mention a complex process, we talk about micronutrients involved, macronutrients involved, dehydrational status, and whatnot. So when we come about pregnancy and fasting, it's controversial.
Okay.
You see, it's controversial because it all depends on the status of the mother. Okay, is she okay? Are there any complications in the pregnancy? Because there are some complications that will hinder totally, and it's completely against fasting.
Yes.
But again, when we come to fasting, with pregnancy, you need a calorie intake that is beneficial for the mother and for the child.
Yes.
So when you fast, if you can promise to, take in the required calorie at the end of the day via a balanced diet,
Yes.
then it's fine. If you're okay with fasting, if you do not have any complications, then it's fair. It's fair enough. But it has shown, research has shown that fasting can, over a long period of time, bring about some complications in the fetus. You see? So something like low birth weight, something like premature labor, preterm labor, something like intrauterine growth restriction where the baby does not grow accordingly. Now all that happens, placental malformations, all that happens because the mother is not consuming the necessary nutrients for the survival of the fetus. So now and I think you understand when I say it's a controversial topic.
Yeah.
If a mother can promise the necessary nutrients in her, then fair enough. If you can promise me that you do not get dehydrated through the day, then it's fine, because dehydration again plays a role in the amniotic fluid. When I say amniotic fluid, I think we understand the baby fluid, right?
Yeah.
One of the methods of formation of the amniotic fluid is the maternal intake of water. So if there is dehydration, there is less fluid. When there is less fluid, there is complication to the fetus.
Right.
So before you guys decide to fast, please consult your obstetrician before you take any decisions with your own mind and
Definitely, 100%. I feel like this is very important for me, like being a mother of three, and I think even for our viewers at a time when I was so confused. But Dr. Shabnam, what's your take on breastfeeding and fasting? So now the baby is in the world.
Yeah.
And I know that prolactin plays a very important role, and so does fluid intake does as a nutritionist. But as a gyno, what's your take on them fasting? Group of
I know.
women.
I think you have kids, so you would agree that breastfeeding is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
For the bonding, for everything, for the mental status of the mother, the bonding of the child.
Yes.
Yeah. So when it comes to breastfeeding, basically breastfeeding itself takes a very big toll on the body.
It's
mentally,
600 calories,
physically. There is that additional bump of calorie intake of about 500 to 600 calories per day to the additional calorie that you're supposed to already engulf. Yes. So that itself is a big thing. Now when you're fasting, fine, I will take carbs and I will reach the calorie, but is that healthy?
Yes.
I need a balanced diet.
Yeah.
everything. You need
Everything.
fats,
So you need
calorie, protein,
everything for you to reach that amount of calories
Exactly,
that are
yes.
needed by your body. Can you do that when you're fasting? Throughout.
No, yeah.
Unless you don't sleep the night.
Yes,
Maybe then,
definitely, yeah.
Okay. Another thing, of course, this will also, hunger is very is troublesome.
Yeah.
When you're hungry, you become cranky. Can you pay attention to your child when you're cranky?
No, definitely. Mood swings and whatnot, right?
Exactly.
Yes, 100%. Even the flow of the breast milk.
When it comes to dehydration, you will not take the. You see, food will
won't
basically
take
not affect the amount of breast milk production.
Yes.
But water levels, liquid levels will.
Yeah.
You're not taking your liquids on time, your breast milk reduces. And then
The
there's no
supply
one
is
else
down.
to blame there.
Yes.
See? So basically, it's important for someone to really make sure that
It is
you're
so-
providing.
It is so
Yes.
wonderful that Islam is giving us this
Exemption.
exemption from
Exactly,
it, but
yes.
yet people feel like, oh no, if I can, I
No,
will.
when Allah agrees that yes,
Yes.
a woman is supposed to be exempted, if
Yes.
possible, then why not go with the flow?
So, Dr. Shabla, this was a really good discussion on pregnancy and breastfeeding. But in the vast of time, like right now, and the moving time, young
Yeah.
girls are experiencing polycystic ovaries, which
That's
we
like
deal.
a trend now.
Yeah, it's trending right
Yeah.
now. It's a trending disease right now.
Definitely.
And even from personal experience, and I think the girls out there also will agree that peaks and fasting also has an impact. Basically, we find it so hard to stay hungry throughout the day because of the glucose level
Yeah,
again.
levels.
The blood pressure is troubling, and the sodium level is troubling, and dehydration. So why is it so hard with PCOS and fasting and autoimmune together in that? If we have to just thyroid for men also and women also, and what do you think goes wrong when it comes down to this line? Why is it so hard?
Okay, when we talk about autoimmune,
Yeah.
okay, autoimmune is basically your body attacking itself,
Attacking
right?
itself, right.
So fasting has been shown to be beneficial to such people.
Yes.
Very beneficial.
Okay.
Because if you notice, most of the times the trigger for these autoimmune is diet.
Is the diet lifestyle exactly?
Most of the time is gluten. Most
Yeah.
of the time the culprit is gluten.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you're fasting, you're avoiding
Yeah.
intake of that gluten.
Yeah.
So or not only gluten, but you're avoiding any dietary trigger to the body.
Okay.
So that means that flare of autoimmune reduces
The
because
inflammation.
the flare comes about because you're taking something that triggers your body to attack itself.
Yes.
So if you're just shutting down that trigger, that means the body has a calm phase.
All right.
When that happens, the flares reduce and you feel much better. It's like
So
the body is healing. You
Yeah.
can say. Also, the research has shown that in fasting episodes, or there's intermittent fasting, there's the Ramadan fasting, there is regeneration of the cells.
Yes.
So newer cells are formed. When
Yes.
newer cells, let's take the skin for example, the lupus, the lichen planus. So when there is regeneration of the cells, that means the dead cells that have been, causing the itch and the symptoms basically die out.
Yeah.
Newer, better cells form.
Yes.
That means the symptoms also calm down.
It's really wonderful how Allah has just, given us the detoxifying month.
You have a whole month to just,
focus on
concentrate on your body. Yeah.
Exactly right. But then sometimes, they tend to not follow a certain lifestyle and
Yeah,
because, it's Ramadan, I'm not eating.
Now that is where the problem comes in with people. They
Yeah.
tend to let go during this month.
Yeah, why this is the perfect month
To actually focus, yes.
and make it a lifestyle change
Exactly.
because it just takes 21 days to fix a habit.
Exactly. With the lifestyle
Yeah.
changes, you actually notice your body responding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Unless you're denying yourself of the yummy food. Dietary changes do not only mean that you eat bland food.
Yeah, exactly. I think people really mistake
There
that as
is
well.
a misconception
We're definitely
which you
pointing
need to
that out.
have a
You
myth
were-
buster
yes.
on that.
We're definitely going to point this out in our next episode and
Yes.
touch this on that. You just gave us a good
I'm
idea
glad.
for that.
So now coming to polycystic, you see, fasting has also shown to benefit girls. I think girls are suffering a lot.
Yeah,
right
because
now.
we're like we love junk food, and when we're at a lose of eating, we're
so
just
you
eating
eat
anything.
and you worsen now.
Yeah.
So with polycystic, we all know there is the insulin resistance,
Yeah.
the sugar, the cholesterol, and then we have the insulin growth factors, because we have the insulin growth factor like in the body, right, which are on a higher level.
Yes.
So with polycystic, and when you're fasting, there is that, because you're not eating,
Yeah.
you have that episode of not eating.
Yeah.
Those sugar levels tend to reduce. So
Yeah.
you have a balanced, proper level in your
And when they eat right, the spike is not
yeah,
that
the
fast.
spike is
The
not
energy is
fast.
slow
Exactly,
releasing.
yeah. So
Yes.
you tend to also lose weight, the excess fat in your
Yes.
body. That contributes to the androgen, now the male hormones in your body.
Yeah.
So research has basically shown that fasting in polycystic reduces all this.
Yes.
Which in turn now brings about a proper, communication with the ovaries. So you have a good ovulation, you have proper regular periods, yeah.
Yes.
But it has shown that it also reduces the cortisol levels.
Stress levels.
Yeah, we all know what cortisol does to the body, the
Oh, yeah,
inflammation
absolutely,
and
yeah.
whatnot. Yeah. So when the cortisol levels reduce, even the
It's
mental
the
status,
physiology which is also impacting.
so the mental
weight.
status, the anxiety, the depression, all of it, basically the syndrome itself with so many symptoms with it, they all calm down.
Wow.
So fasting is really beneficial. But not only Ramadan fasting, even intermittent fasting. At the end of the day, fasting is fasting.
Yeah, I think the dietary preferences.
Yeah,
also-
because at the end of the day, we all know polycystic also has a lot of mood swings, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
the mood swings come in because of the hormonal changes.
Yeah.
You see, when we are fasting, when we are not taking care, there is a lot of changes in the axis, the hypothalamic, pituitary,
Yeah.
ovarian axis. So such changes also affect, if you're not taking care of your diet, these changes affect your female hormones. At the end of the day, fasting will benefit you from giving you a less androgen, which is what we want. We don't
Yeah.
want testosterone. Women
Yeah.
don't like testosterone.
Yes, you don't want the hair growth.
So we want a balance of the female hormones and a reduction in the male hormones. Yeah. So at the end of the day, polycystic is
So basically, fasting has shown incredible results for polycystic women out there. And this was really, really good, Dr. Shabnam.
I'm glad
I think
I
I
could,
learned a lot from you today.
I'm glad the audience will get something to
Oh,
ponder
definitely.
upon, right?
I think this is going to be our most loved episode. And thank you so much for taking out your time and coming
I
all
am
the way.
so glad that you called me.
It's one woman that brings change out there, and then the rest
Yeah.
follow up. I hope this was insightful and very informative for you. If you want to meet Dr. Shabnam Mukaddam, she's always available at Kisutu Specialized Polyclinic. Before I end today's episode, I would like to show you my go-to recipe for suhoor. We're making overnight oats in my kitchen today. Let's go. So I just got a text message from my friend Fatima, and she has no idea what to make for Sehri. I've invited her over to teach her how to make overnight oats, and I'm sure she has some curious questions with her.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Same. So you were really confused, huh?
Yes, I have no idea what to make tonight.
Let's do it together then.
Alright, what are we
Shall
making?
we? So we're making overnight oats. Have you heard about them?
I have not actually.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be fun. So for this recipe, we need yogurt, oats, chia seeds, chocolate chips, and milk. So put the mason jar in between it.
Okay.
Okay. And we start with our liquid. So we put half cup of milk.
Okay. So what if I don't have milk at home or I don't want to use milk?
So you can use any, like, if you're lactose intolerant or something, you can use nut milk or oat milk or anything.
Okay.
Yeah?
What's next?
So next we put up our half cup oats.
Alright. Oats. And what kind of oats are these?
So these are steel cut rolled oats. So remember I told you about using less processed stuff?
So it keeps you fuller for longer. It's not crashing your sugar levels. It doesn't spike your blood sugar levels that fast. It goes really slow, releasing energies because it comes under complex carbohydrates. So it's gonna keep you full for longer, and you're gonna like your blood sugar level is also gonna thank you for that.
Sounds delicious and healthy.
Yeah. Now let's go for the yogurt.
All right. And what are the benefits of adding yogurt to
So
this
the
recipe?
protein, of course, in the Greek yogurt, and also it gives this very tangy taste to it. So you're not like overly sweet, and it's not overly tangy. Also, it's just the right balance for it.
Wonderful. All right. Yogurt is done.
Okay, so do you like chocolate chips or do you like the chia seeds?
I
We can
love
do both
chocolate
even.
chips.
You like chocolate chips?
Yes.
Okay, but it's gonna give it very chocolatey flavor. But if we want to switch the flavor and keep it simple, we can even add chia seeds.
Can we do
'Cause,
both?
yeah, we can try.
Okay. So put both
It's gonna
in.
just be very flavorful.
That's chocolate chips
Okay, and then we.
and the chia seeds.
Okay, so the fun fact for chia seeds is that they're very high in fat, and so even in the calorie, but they keep you fuller for longer, and then like they have this omega-3 and the fatty acid in it, which also keeps you full for long. That's why we feel like when we have chia seed water or chia seed pudding, we don't want to eat for the next like 3 to 5 hours, which is crazy, yeah.
It's amazing. It means I
Yeah.
won't get hungry.
Yeah, and this is going to be like so perfect for Sehri. And it's releasing energy slowly so you can go through the day,
Perfect.
And it's just like, it takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah, less
Yeah.
than. Now what do we do?
We just close this up and we put it in our fridge overnight.
Awesome.
And it's ready for 4 a.m. suhoor time.
Right. I think we've got it all.
Yep.
Wonderful. All done.
So this was our overnight oats recipe. If you want to know more recipes like these, please feel free to message us. If you like our show, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon.